Nearly 29 million Americans will have an eating disorder in their lifetime. That's according to the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders. And this week is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Northern News Now's Larissa Millis spoke with specialists in that field about the importance of awareness and the path to recovery.
National Eating Disorder Awareness Week happens every winter. It aims to destigmatize shame surrounding eating disorders and promote resources to recovery. Michael Butchko is the director of Duluth's The Emily Program, an eating disorder recovery organization.
It's so critical that we continue to have conversations, bringing awareness to the challenges, the dangers, the risks of eating disorders.
Those risks include other health concerns and even death, as eating disorders are the deadliest mental illness, with someone dying as a direct result every 52 minutes.
What happens to your body inside and bring on some cardiovascular problems and some different problems with your kidneys and with diabetes and many other diseases that just don't have favorable outcomes for healthy living.
Stacy Karkinen with Essentia Health's weight management department says it's important people take care of their body in a healthy way.
So if you feel like you have an unhealthy perception of your body and an unhealthy relationship of your body, the best thing to do is to talk to somebody, to reach out, and many times that is the hardest step.
Butchko with the Emily Program says it's important people are aware of how they talk about food and their own body image, as anyone can suffer from an eating disorder. He says of everyone who experiences an eating disorder, 1/3 of them are men.
Eating disorders do not discriminate. They come in various shapes and sizes. They don't discriminate on color, sexual orientation, gender identity, socioeconomic status. They can impact anybody.
A continued campaign towards recovery. In Duluth, Larissa Millis, Northern News Now.
Butchko says the Emily Program offers both in-person and telehealth services. You can visit our website for a link to resources.